Welcome to another Hub Notes tea break vlog, and this time I thought I'd talk a bit about how to be successful on YouTube. And first of all, the key is patience. Success on YouTube does not come overnight, it does not come quickly. It's the same as anything. I think some people make it look like it's quite easy to do this, and some people make it look quite easy to earn lots of money. It isn't. I'm now at the stage where HubNut, with the merchandise built on, and we'll get to that in a moment, it is enough for me to live and also to employ Miss HubNut. So I mean, that's been the case for a couple of years now. I've been able to employ someone to do the merchandise, and that's all the good. That really helps. But it took years and years to get to that stage. So from setting the channel up in November 2013 as Classic Hub, oddly the first test being a Nissan Leaf, but I already had the Classic Hub name. I had a blog back, you know, when blogs were a thing, and that was called Classic Hub, so the channel naturally became Classic Hub. And it all began, the videos, really, because I wanted to record the moment of me driving an electric car, as quite a lot of you already know, and that's how the channel started. And then very slowly I made a few more videos on other cars. It wasn't really until 2014, 2015 that I started to really get a shift on. I think I monetized late in 2014, and it took 9 months to earn £60. That's the minimum payout you'll get from YouTube. At the moment, these Hub Notes, I'm not earning any ad revenue on because we haven't reached the threshold yet. I've got my 1,000 subscribers. You need that, but you also need 4,000 watched hours in a certain amount of time. So we're still building up to that one. So these Hub Notes are entirely free, but at some point fairly soon, hopefully I'll be able to start monetizing this channel as well. And you know, it all helps keep everything afloat. But yeah, going on to merchandise, it was the merchandise that really built up and made me able to go, okay, this is going to become a serious endeavor. Started doing the merchandise in, I think it was the March of 2018, just a run of a few stickers. We did 100 stickers and they sold out almost immediately, so did another 100. The profit that was coming in from the stickers was sufficient for me to order a load of t-shirts, and so I ordered a run of 50 t-shirts. I think we did Mighty Dacia first. I think it was Mighty Dacia before I did Tuck shirts. Yeah, because the Tuck shirts coincided with taking this old girl to Festival of the Unexceptional, which I'll mention in a moment. Yeah, the merchandise business has built up very nicely, and the rush for Christmas is now frankly overwhelming almost. We were so busy packing merchandise, sending it all over the world, and I love that. I didn't expect to be doing that sort of thing, merchandise, but I really enjoy it, and yeah, it's very pleasing that people buy the stuff, and I love shipping it out. And we've done thousands of orders now, and I never thought that would happen. But it was that in 2018 that made me think, okay, the YouTube income is very low, but the merchandise and that made me think that by 2019 I could make the leap into becoming a full-time YouTuber. And that coincided with a few things. Obviously there was some stuff going on in my life that meant it was a kind of a chapter, time for a change. And yeah, there's also the fact that one of the magazines, it was very likely the Retro Japanese magazine was going to close, and if I'd stuck with it, COVID would definitely have killed it off entirely, because publishers were cutting back all over, and that wasn't a title that was really making any money at all, so it would never have survived. Classic Jaguar is still doing very well, I'm very pleased to report, but I'd begun to tire of the media life, the magazines. There's an awful lot of pressure on editors, especially freelance editors, and I don't think the pay really reflected that. Just to go into a bit of detail, I would get a pot of money for each magazine, and I had to pay my contributors out of that. So I would write as much as possible, but you do need different voices in a magazine and different specialist knowledge. So I would farm out some stuff, and at the end of the day I was sitting there going, I'm not paying myself very much for the amount of hours I'm having to put into this. All the proofreading, I couldn't afford to employ someone as a proofreader, so I had to do all that myself. It was a lot of work, and I don't think really it was delivering ultimate satisfaction. So when the opportunity came for life to rearrange itself somewhat, I leapt at the chance and went, right, let's just do YouTube. But it was the merchandise that really gave me the confidence to do that, because for a start, it's a separate income stream. You haven't got your eggs in all one basket. Whereas with YouTube, I have, and you know, I like YouTube a lot. It gives me such freedom. I can just turn the camera on, start talking, and I can put the video up. No one at YouTube is going, not sure about that. You need to add some more information about MX-5s or anything of that ilk. I've got complete freedom, and I love that. It makes me so much happier to be able to talk about the cars I want to talk about, which is the weird and the unusual. I mean, MX-5s are great and MGBs are great, but oh my gosh, when you work in the classic media, it's all you ever seem to write about. So it's nice to broaden out into such niches as Invacars and the Reliant Fox. It's marvellous. But yeah, so that's something I would say, that do have an eye on merchandise. Obviously, you've got to build the following up first. I see some people go crazy for the merchandise a little too early. You've got to have the following so you'll actually sell the stuff. But when people get into your stuff, the people who watch stuff on YouTube are very passionate and very supportive, so it can be well worth going down. Now, when it comes to Patreon, I am on Patreon. I'm terrible to my patrons, so I apologise to you all now. I really don't do enough for my patrons, or the Hubnut channel members indeed. They can sign up and join the channel, and that provides a certain amount of income as well. Well, YouTube take quite a big cut of it. Perhaps not quite as big a cut as they take of the ad revenue. But Patreon's added just another layer of complexity. It's been very useful, very supportive of my endeavours. But yeah, you end up having to manage all these different things, different platforms. You know, I'm now on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. You have to keep an eye on all these things, and it takes up an awful lot of time just keeping up with comments and messages, emails. That's another side of the business that people just don't see, because I'm not one of those who just ignores comments. I love the feedback. The feedback is tremendous. I love that feedback loop. You don't get that with magazines. And yeah, to have that direct conversation with you, the viewer, is amazing. I mean, you don't get that with television even. So yeah, I'm very blessed with where I am. It works very, very well. What was I going to get back to? There was something I said I was going to get back to. Festival of the Unexceptional. Yes, let's have a quick talk about that. I've just found out it's going ahead on the 31st of July this year at Grimsthorpe Castle in Lincolnshire. I'm not sure which car I'll take. Last time I went to Festival of the Unexceptional, I took Tuk. But there will be at least me. I think it'll probably just be Miss Hubnut, me and Miss Hubnut. Kids will be away for the summer holidays. So which vehicle do we take? I'm really not sure. All of them qualify. I've had some people don't take the GSA. It's far too exceptional. But really, they were just street furniture back in the day, and that's rather the point of Festival of the Unexceptional. It's celebrating the street furniture. It's not celebrating the flashy cars. And while GSAs have their tricks up their sleeves, I'm not sure they actually count as exceptional. I don't think they were seen as exceptional back in the day. Yeah, I might take that. I might take Foxanne if we can get her problems sorted. Probably won't take poor Ellie. 2CVs don't feel quite right for Festival of the Unexceptional. Diane's possibly, because they are the lesser brother of the 2CV to a lot of people. They're a better car, actually. But they are a bit lesser, the Amis as well. Been nice to see some of those there. So we'll see what happens. It does clash with the Silverstone Classic, but I'm not sure that's any great loss. The Classic is all right, but Festival of the Unexceptional remains one of my favourite events. So it's run by Haggerty, who have insured this car for a long time. That's coming to an end, sadly. I'm bundling all my cars into one policy with Adrian Flux, as it happens, primarily because they will cover me fully comp on any other car, which is an improvement over the current situation. So that's a definite improvement. That'll make me feel more comfortable. So I'm bundling all my cars onto one policy with Adrian Flux, apart from Chemi the Charade, because they won't cover learner drivers. So that one's staying out. But otherwise, I'm with 3 different insurance companies at the moment. It's a pain in the backside and costing quite a lot of money. And actually, Adrian Flux, to be fair to him, have come in at a very good rate. So I'm very pleased with that. But it does mean Took the Invacar will be ending her relationship with Haggerty Insurance. Haggerty sponsored the original series of recommissioning this car. I will be forever grateful, because I'm not sure I've actually said this in a video, but back in November 2017 when I found this car, my finances were not in great shape. The channel wasn't that big back then. It's only 4 years ago, or 3.5 years ago. But you know, I was back then, I think in early 2018, I was celebrating something like 4 million channel views. It's now over 26 million. So it's gone up considerably. It might even be getting on for 28. But back then, it really wasn't providing that great a source of income. The magazine work sort of was, but not brilliant. I basically had agreed to buy 2 Invacars. I had no way of getting them home, and I couldn't afford it. And I spoke to Haggerty at the NEC Classic Motor Show that year, and they were very interested. Let's do something. So they sponsored the videos, and it was that sponsorship that allowed me to go and collect them. Otherwise, I was stuffed because the cars were over 200 miles away. I didn't actually have any way of getting them home. I didn't have a decent tow vehicle at the time. I didn't have a car trailer. So thanks to them, I was able to hire a truck and go and get them. And really, I think it's this car more than any other that has really driven the success of Hubnut. The Eddie crowdfunding restoration back in 2016 was another turning step, and that turned things up a notch, but really has really driven things on. And yeah, fair play to her. Wonderful little car. And to think, you know, 3 years after collecting her from a field, when you know, I was financially sort of down on my knees, really. 3 years later, I was flying off to New Zealand to go and do videos over there. It's extraordinary how quickly things can build up once you get that momentum. So how did I get there? Well, you will have noticed I've produced an awful lot of videos, hundreds of them. In fact, I think I'm up to about 950 videos. I might have just gone past 950 videos that I've posted on Hubnut since November 2013. Because I quickly discovered YouTube were paying a very small amount per video. So how do you acquire more money? You produce lots of videos. So that's why I have this ethic of just pump the videos out. That's where that comes from. It's because you have to. If you're making, and back then I was probably making 20, 30 pounds a video, you need to make an awful lot of them to actually get any income. And you know, you look at the hours you're putting in for that income, and it's still not great. But if you're doing what you love, then you have to say, well, fair play. That's amazing. And yeah, that's why I drive the video production so hard. It's why my editing is quick and dirty. I generally under an hour to edit a video. It's because I need to pump them out. Quite often I'll be filming in the morning, going back home, trying to edit it and get it out at lunchtime that day. More recently it's been more the following day, but that's the kind of speed I try and go at. So if you see me speaking, chances are it could have been that day, it could have been the day before. It's probably fairly recent, and you have to do that. So be prolific. It's all well and good having your first initial idea, but you need subsequent ideas, and you need to work out what you're going to do if that project stalls. How are you going to keep the videos coming? Because that's how you build the rapport with people. Be prolific. Look at Cletus McFarland. He's chucking out several videos a week, and they're often very quick and dirty, but he's very good at what he does. I know not everyone gets Cletus McFarland. It's actually a stage name. His real name's Garrett, which is fitting for someone who's obsessed with turbochargers. But yeah, his work ethic is incredible, and that's why he has over 2 million subscribers now. That and the fact that he's very good at what he does, and I find it very exciting. I love the cars he's got. I love what he does with them, taking them drag racing, and the amount of tuning you can do on those cars. You know, when the boost comes in, the ramp of that boost, it's extraordinary. I find it absolutely fascinating. So yeah, I know not everyone gets Cletus McFarland. He's definitely not the same as me. But from a work ethic point of view, I admire him just as much as I admire Jeremy Clarkson from a writing point of view. I don't agree with the man very often, disagree hugely with him, but I love Jeremy Clarkson's writing. I have several of his books because he has a wonderful way with words. And it's the same with Cletus. I really admire what he does. So that's what's possible. I don't think I'm ever going to get to 2 million subscribers. But, you know, we're creeping our way towards the 100,000. That is a goal I would very much like to hit on Hubnut. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I've waffled enough. My tea is getting cold. So I shall say thank you for watching. Hope that's been useful. I shall see you in a future video. Farewell.